ceremonial first pitch. Joining us this evening are three legends of Dodger baseball who also have their own World Series rings. This legend played 20 years in the majors, 13 of those as a Dodger player, and many more as a coach, including World Series winning teams of 1981 and 1988. This year marks his 56th in the Dodger organization. Fans, let's hear it for Manny Mota. This legend of Dodger baseball spent 19 seasons in the majors. 14 of those as one of the anchors of the infield. A 10-time All-Star, the 1974 National League MVP, and a member of the 1981 World Series champions, Steve Garvey. And rounding out this legendary trio is a right-handed pitcher who spent 18 years in the major leagues, 13 of them in Dodger blue. He was a three-time All-Star, the 1988 National League Cy Young Award winner, and the 1988 NLCS and World Series MVP. You know him, he's the Bulldog, Orel Hershiser. All right, legends, the mound is yours. And catching for our legends are fellow World Series champs, Tommy Edman, Teoscar Hernandez, and Clayton Kershaw. Strike one, strike two, and strike three. Great job.
Everybody?
All right, opening week is brought to you by PNC Bank. Dodger Stadium, another beautiful night, another special night as this season continues, and it seems like each day something to celebrate. We welcome inside Joe Davis. You just saw Orel Hershiser. He'll be back up here. Hopefully not in too long. They get an elevator held for him. Get him back up here. We'll join Kirsten in a moment as well. They win a championship last year, and what a start to this season between the trip to Japan, the ceremonies here this week, and against three really good starting pitchers, a 3-0 start. Moments ago, down in the field, Kirsten Watson, a little preview of that hardware with Mookie Betts.
Mookie, this ring ceremony, it was spectacular. You have the ring in your hand. Is it everything you imagine and more?
It's more. It's more. This is one of the coolest things I've ever gotten. I mean, fortunately I have three, but I think this one, this is probably my favorite one.
You told me you wanted to fill your whole hand with rings. You guys are now 3-0 to start the season. You ready to add some more hardware to your hand?
Absolutely. I mean, I definitely want to get another one and see what the Dodgers have in store. But you know, doing this in Dodger Stadium and in front of all these Dodger fans is just amazing and a blessing come true.
You show us the ring real quick. Just show it up there.
Look at this. They got the inside of it. It's a beautiful thing.
Enjoy every second. Thank you so much, Mookie. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
All right, and a fitting pitching matchup on a weekend where we celebrate last year's championship team, last year's World Series run. Jack Flaherty, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, guys that combined started more than half of the postseason games. For Yamamoto, it's already his second start of the year. He looked really good on opening day in Japan, getting the win for the Dodgers, and tries to get off to a 2-0 start here. Dodgers and Tigers, middle game in this three-game series. Dodgers trying to keep the perfect start going. World champion Dodger baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Jack in the Box. The Smash Jack is back with so much more beef.
Sunny days.
What an incredible night it has already been. The Dodgers getting their World Series championship rings, but it's time for baseball. Dodgers and Tigers with Joe and Oral next.
Domino's new Parmesan stuffed crust.
On Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Jack in the Box. What a special weekend this has been to get the home schedule started. Opening day yesterday and a 5-4 win for the Dodgers as they raised the banner and unveiled the 2024 championship logo over there. Gibby met Freddie officially and tossed out the first pitch. And then the Dodgers got to 3-0. We're all set for game 2 of this series with this lineup for the Tigers. Brought to you by your Southern California helpful Honda dealer. Gleyber Torres lead things off, and then it's Kerry Carpenter hitting second and right field. Riley Green's in left hitting third. Spencer Torkelson had a great first game. DHs and bats cleanup with Colt Keith at first. Former Dodger Zach McKinstry's at third base. Then it's Dylan Dinkler, Trey Sweeney, who was traded over there for Jack Flaherty last year, and Ryan Kreidler bats ninth in center field. Yoshinobu Yamamoto gained so much confidence in the postseason last year. His first start in the postseason didn't go well, but in kind of a microcosm of his whole season, bad start, rallied from there. Game 5 of the division series against Yu Darvish, 5 scoreless innings. Game 2 of the World Series, 1 run over 6 1/3, and the overall numbers right there.
He proved last year with the tough start in Korea, his very first one as a Dodger was really rough, but he responded to that, and that continued throughout the year right to the very end.
Dodgers trying to get off to a 4-0 start for the first time since the 1981 season. Yamamoto winds and throws, and off we go with a fastball strike on Torres. Really good opening day start for Yamamoto in Japan. Those 5 innings, just 1 run. After all the talk during spring training about how sharp he was looking. Drops in a breaking ball here. Didn't throw that a ton in Japan. In fact, just 9 times against the Cubs. That was the fewest that he's thrown it in the big leagues. Here comes with an 0-2. It's in the dirt. Ball 1.
This is what he threw over in Tokyo, and you could see the splits are a little different. He used all his pitches, but the 4-seamer and the splitter were predominant.
There's 29 splitters that he threw, second most in a game in the big leagues. That fastball's punched to right field. Teoscar Hernandez is there, and there's the first out of the ball game.
Well, the results against those 2 pitches, you can see why he stuck with them at 29 each, the 1 for 6 and 1 for 9. And because he commanded the bottom of the strike zone with his 4-seamer, that really set up the split and the chase.
Dave Roberts said that he felt like, the confidence we're talking about that he took from the postseason last year, where that's showing up is with his fastball. The way that he's attacking with that, putting it wherever he wants it. Strike 1 with that fastball to Kerry Carpenter. Carpenter getting his first start of the season for the Tigers off of the bench yesterday.
sacrifice fly, not going to run. And that 5-4 Dodger win. On an 0-1 pitch, Carpenter takes it low.
97. He was up a tick from last year in Tokyo at 96, and we thought maybe it was from being in his home area and adrenaline. He's got it here, though, in Los Angeles.
It's a curveball again. This is away to Carpenter. 2 balls and 1 strike. And they sure love him here. I mean, clearly they love him all, hearing the roar of this crowd during the ring celebration, the ring presentation, but extra loud roar for him. So they introduced him while he's warming up out in the bullpen. What a fun couple days this has been, huh?
You know, it is really hard to pitch. I don't know how the everyday players continue to concentrate when the pageantry's all around and it's about you. It's one thing to block that out. It's another thing if people are like mad at you or just normal crowd, but this is hard when it's so special.
On a 2-2 pitch. It's into the curve, going heavy with that early on here. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Carpenter.
Last year, the Tigers were one of the better split finger hitting teams. So maybe a little change in strategy. This in his second start.
Offense much better as the season went on for Detroit. That stunning run to the playoffs, their first postseason trip in a decade. That's hit hard and a base hit for Carpenter. First base runner of the game, Kerry Carpenter, with his first hit of the year.
Confidence in the fastball and confidence using it in the middle of the plate. Carpenter got one earlier and missed it. Then he came back with the breaking ball, but this one back down the middle and he squares it up.
Yesterday, the problem for the Tigers wasn't getting guys on. It was doing something once they did. They had 9 hits and 6 walks, but went 0 with runners in scoring position in the game. Here's Riley Green. And a curve is banged into center. Back-to-back hits on back-to-back pitches for Detroit, and they've got him cornered with 1 away.
This is the situation yesterday with Blake Snell that he pitched around it. It wasn't usually with hits that the Tigers set the table. It was some walks from Snell. Right here, Yamamoto looking for a ground ball double play with 1 out. Trying to avoid that run at third.
And Snell doing it yesterday. That's been one of the early season themes for the Dodgers. Their pitchers getting out of these situations. Spencer Torkelson takes ball 1. Hitters against Dodger pitchers over the first 3 games with runners in scoring position are 2 for 29. Making pitches when they have to. Torkelson coming off a great day yesterday. Walked 4 times and homered. Grounded it off his foot there. Foul. This is the first line like that in baseball history on opening day.
Well, he's got pop. You know, he might have a lot of swing and miss in his games, but when he squares it up, it goes a long way.
Former first pick of the draft. He's in the majors at 22. Weight of the world on his shoulders as a big-time prospect, but it's shifted around where he's now trying to prove that he still belongs. And a good first step yesterday. Another foul ball off himself. 1-2.
There's that shin guard on his left ankle there, and he's attacked that area twice here in a row.
Figure I got that guard, I might as well use it.
Most of the time it misses it.
Yamamoto could use a strikeout right here. It's 1-2 to Torkelson. Grounded foul. First inning was the worst inning for Yamamoto as a rookie. Had a 6 ERA in the first. That was skewed by what happened in his first start in Korea, but that wasn't the only time when he had his issues in the first inning. 6 ERA in the first, 2.25 after the first inning. Fires 1-2 and gets him swinging. Tailing fastball for out number 2.
Excellent movement right there. You think could be a 2-seamer, but I think it's a 4-seamer with that tailing action, and it just goes in and jams him. Get out of my kitchen. That's huge. First and third, 1 out. Get that punch out.
It's got the hitter looking at it like, what was that?
Exactly.
And it actually was, Oral, to your instinct there, was charted as a 2-seam, which he threw a few times in Japan.
About time the computer gets it right.
Come on. Technology is just, it's flying.
It's catching up to the olden days.
Yes. Ball 1 in the dirt to Colt Keith.
We had some outstanding blocks yesterday from Will Smith. Hey, Austin Barnes back there getting the call.
Starting his 11th season with the Dodgers.
I hope he carries over with the offense that he showed in spring training.
Two on, two out. Keith takes right down the middle. 1 ball, 1 strike. Keith, he was the guy, you know, team-wide problem with runners in scoring position yesterday. Found himself in those situations every time he was up there and went 0 for 4. On this 1-1 from Yamamoto, Keith takes outside, ball 2. John Tumpane calling balls and strikes tonight.
The Tigers almost hit 500 with not a man in scoring position. Now 0 for 16 after that last strikeout.
23-year-old former top prospect Keith swings and misses. That's the splitter, and it's at 93 as it was in Japan. And again, you're thinking he's just revved up pitching in his home country, but he's back here in LA and it's still 93, moving like a butterfly.
It reminds me of Zach Greinke's changeup when Zach was here in the Dodger uniform.
That power change.
Power change, but this is a power split.
Just got to add a little more of a grunt, Greinke-like. Deuce is wild. 2 on, 2 out, and a 2-2. Strikes his way out of trouble. Back-to-back splitters to get Keith and put up a 0 in the first. Shohei Ohtani to lead things off. 3 games, 2 home runs for the superstar, for the MVP. Ohtani, Betts, and Freeman coming up. With this order presented by your Southern California helpful Honda dealer. You know who it is leading things off. There's Ohtani, then Betts and Freeman with Teoscar Hernandez hitting cleanup. Muncy hitting 5th. Tommy Edman down to the 6th spot. Conforto's first start at home, and Pages and Barnes finish things up for Dave Roberts against an old friend in Jack Flaherty. His first one to Ohtani is downstairs, ball 1. Welcome back ×2 for Jack Flaherty. Back to the Tigers. That's where the Dodgers got him from last year. And of course, back to Dodger Stadium, where he helped his hometown team win the World Series. 2-0 on Ohtani. This is much more than just another start for Jack. Talking to him yesterday, he said, yeah, it's already, you're starting a new season with kind of a new team, back with a new contract. You're going to have a lot of emotions from that, but then everything else starting at here, seeing all his old friends. He's going to get his ring tomorrow. This is a million emotions going through Jack tonight, and he's falling behind Ohtani 3-0 to start it. Green light if he wants it. Jumps out of the way, and it's a 4-pitch walk. What's Jack got?
Well, he's got a lot of pitches, 5 of them. Throws a lot of fastball, sliders, and curves. Got rid of the cutter last year, and that was a good decision. When he has the 4-seamer in the strike zone, he can really get you to chase, especially with the knuckle curve.
He's one of the best pitchers in baseball last year. Came over to the Dodgers, went 6-2. Delivers to Mookie Betts. Over the heart of the plate and fouled back. Mookie hitting a walk and a run scored yesterday in his season debut. After missing, of course, the 2 games in Japan, battling that stomach bug, using the days between Japan and opening day to start to get right. Said that he's feeling closer and closer. Each day feels a little bit better. Put a little bit of weight back on, and he said he's confident and comfortable that he's going to get to where he needs to go, because he says, I've got the blueprint. I've put the weight on already. Did it with a very specific plan that we have written down this offseason, and I'm just going to do the same thing. Should be 2. Torres takes it himself. Twin killing.
Jack's going to have a battle tonight against this Dodger lineup because he gets a lot of outs from chases, and this Dodger lineup will not do that. So he could end up setting the table with, look at the smile to Freddie.
Ball 1 on Freeman. 0 for 4 in his first game after he exercised some precaution in Japan. He's thinking that it's just scar tissue that broke up in his ribs. That was the thing coming out of the World Series. It's like you knew about the ankle that he was dealing with, but then you started to hear a little something about the rib. Yeah, it turns out that the day before the division series, he's warming up, taking swings, and dropped to his knees in pain. He popped something in his ribs and was dealing with that the entire postseason as well. Fought through it all to earn that bling that he put on tonight. Flies out to center. No score after 1. Season, folks. Strike out 7 hitters in the game. Dodgers do. You're going to get a free Jumbo Jack at Jack in the Box tomorrow. Fell at LA area restaurants. Already 2 of them for Yamamoto. And he starts Zach McKinstry with a strike. On a fastball to the outside corner. The old Dodger now in his 3rd season in Detroit.
He made the game a little tighter last night with his triple and scored on a sac fly.
Had a couple big hits at Comerica Park last year against the Dodgers, and then contributed off of the bench yesterday. Takes a strike, 1 and 2. Oh boy. 3rd consecutive K. Does it with a splitter.
The fastball, when he locates it and then comes back with that, the tunneling effect to a hitter, you can see they start the bat and then they lose the bat speed right when the ball starts to break. It's like, oh no, and that's the facial expression you get.
Fastball, fastball, fastball until it's not. Until it just dives out of there.
There it is, the perfect 95 on the corner. And here's the tunneling effect of those two pitches. When he's at the knees with that red line, the four-seamer, and then the split dives like that, tough to hit.
1 ball, 1 strike on the Tigers catcher, Dylan Dingler.
Was that a red line or orange line, Joe?
It was red.
Okay, thank you.
Red, orange.
Yeah, thank you.
Those box of crayons. You know, you get the bigger the box of crayons, the more names they have to come up with. They get like macaroni and cheese color. Yeah.
Our producer, Mike Levy, just said tiger orange since we're playing the Tigers.
But I think it was more red than that.
Okay, good.
So you were onto something. Fastball fouled off, 1-2. Already 3 Ks and in Jumbo Jack math, that's halfway.
With this pitching staff, this is Jumbo Jack world. It's going to be a lot of them.
Golf to left center field, traveling deep. It is gone, and it's Dylan Dingler. Doubled in his career home run total with that swing. He had 1 in a cup of coffee in the big leagues last year, and he's got 1 and 1 AB this year.
He got fooled, but he made a very nice adjustment, dropping his top hand and pulling the lower part of the bat in, the handle in, to get the head to this. You can just see he just releases, turns the hips, and gets the head on it. At first, you think that's got a chance to stay in here, but this ball had some backspin and carry.
So the Tigers on the board first with a home run from their 7-hitter and catcher, light hitting catcher, and Dylan Dingler. And now it's Trey Sweeney. It was the key piece in the Jack Flaherty deal. Like Sweeney and Flaherty were like ships in the night in that trade, right? Sweeney goes to the Tigers, gets called up to the big leagues right after that. Flaherty, of course, to the Dodgers, but now playing together. Flaherty going back to Detroit on that 2-year contract. On 0-2, Sweeney swings and misses. Back to the splitter to get his 4th K already.
One of the dangers of throwing so many strikes is the hitters will just start the bat and hope they get one in the middle, and that's what happened with the home run. But that one, if they start the bat and it's not in the middle, you're out.
Former UCLA Bruin Ryan Kreidler. One for 2 yesterday. He's a shortstop by trade who's playing center field, not because they needed a spot for his bat. You see the offensive numbers, 147 over 3 seasons with the Tigers, but because their top 3 center fielders all start the year on the injured list. So they got to dig deep and get a guy who they still feel good about out there because he's so athletic. They say he has those defensive instincts, but still starting the season already very banged up in this lineup. Two and one on the Tigers' 9-hitter. Yamamoto comes back home, and a fastball speeds by him to even the count up.
Strike percentage in his first outing in Tokyo was up there, and it's up there again here, right around 75%. So different kind of guess hitter when a guy's throwing that many strikes. They're just guessing strike. They're not worried about what pitch it is.
Already 5 Ks for Yoshinobu Yamamoto. That splitter just diving out of the zone, but the Tigers draw first blood on the Dingler home run. Fan favorite no matter where he's been, and now he's got a ring to bring him to life. Brought him to life yesterday with his 3-run home run against the reigning Cy Young Award winner and Tarek Skubal. And it will be Teoscar Hernandez to start this second inning. 33 home runs, career high last year in his first season with the Dodgers, and that one-year prove-it deal. Prove it he did to earn the long-term contract. The 32-year-old in his 10th season in the big leagues. Had 2 balls and no strikes.
The definition of a long-term contract nowadays is really different.
That's true. 3 years.
Used to be 3.
Yeah.
Now, when there's 10 and 12s out there.
15 in the case of Juan Soto.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Three and one as Flaherty falls behind the leadoff man again. Jack last year had the lowest walk rate of his career. He had 5 4-pitch walks all year, and then he walked the first batter of this season on 4 pitches in Ohtani. Falls behind Hernandez and now gets back in there with a good breaking pitch. 3-2.
The Dodgers seem to have a magic formula with guys to really improve them, especially on the mound with their repertoire and their arsenal. And I think for Jack, it was just really more fastballs and curveballs.
Swatted the other way off the end of the bat. It is a diving try from Kerry Carpenter, and he's got it. Nice catch by Carpenter for the first out of the second.
Is it just the fingers of the glove that get under this? That was very well done. The body ends up in front of the glove with the slide, but it was well done to stabilize and keep it in the leather.
Tigers 1, Dodgers nothing. Bottom of the second. Here's Max Muncy. Looking for his first hit of this homestand. 0-for-3 yesterday. And trying to get it against a guy that historically has given him a hard time. Max is 2-for-13 against Jack Flaherty with 8 Ks. A lot of that came when Jack was at the peak of his powers in St. Louis. I love watching these exchanges between these guys. You can see how fond the Dodgers were of Jack Flaherty in his couple months with him. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Well, Max loves to hunt the fastball and he loves strikes, but Jack will throw him a lot of off-speed pitches. Pretty much what Max has seen so far this year in the 3 games is a lot of breaking balls.
Another one of them right there, rolled towards the middle for Trey Sweeney. 2 up and 2 down. You know, Flaherty, when he came over last year, Dodgers were desperate for starting pitching, and he was so reliable. 7-5 with a 2.95 with the Tigers, comes over to the Dodgers. Numbers not quite as good, but he held them together, and they don't win the World Series without trading for Jack Flaherty.
That's for sure. Great addition to the clubhouse, great addition on the mound.
Tommy Edman, speaking of don't win the World Series without a trade.
Oh boy.
Knows this guy, National League Championship Series MVP, and he has just kept on humming last season into this one with 2 home runs over the first 3 games.
His strong side is against left-handed pitchers, and he showed it again last night. This is some pop over 400 feet there into the left field pavilion.
But because he missed the first 4 months last year recovering from that wrist surgery and then the ankle injury that he suffered during his rehab, he didn't hit his second home run of last year until September 10th. The first 2 of his season in the same game against the Cubs here. Already got 2 of them this year in 3 games, but he's down quickly as Jack Flaherty gets his first K.
Out of Market game live or on demand, plus stream MLB Network 24/7 for the entire season. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details.
All smiles on the guys that got the rings and on the 50,000 or so that watched him do it. Inside for ball one on Gleyber Torres at the top of the Tigers order, coming up against Yamamoto here in the third. Lone run of this game came in a home run from Dylan Dingler last inning, Tigers catcher. And now it's Torres. After 7 seasons with the Yankees, Dodgers saw him, of course, in the World Series last year. Over to the Tigers on a 1-year contract. On a 1-1 pitch from Yamamoto, Torres takes in the dirt, 2-1. And Torres came up and all-star right away as a youngster in New York. All the pressure that comes to playing shortstop for the Yankees, and then had a couple years where he wasn't very good before recovering, steadying things the last couple seasons. Lifts his fly ball to left field. It sends Conforto back to the wall, and it's gone. Gleyber Torres has his first home run in his new uniform, and it's 2-0 Detroit. Torres, though, holding his side as he limps around the bases. Not a good sign for a Tigers team already limping into this season with injuries. And you can see Joey Cora, the third base coach down there, saying, hey, he ain't right. Get the training staff on him right away.
Well, he gets to a 2-seam fastball, and it is way off the plate, but he does a nice job. As many splitters as he's thrown, that one split his side. Yamamoto gave up a home run on a splitter earlier. Only 1 home run last year on a splitter, and he's already given up 1 this year. So 1 on a splitter and 1 on a 2-seamer, or a sinker, if you want to call it that.
Is there a difference?
Ask the computers.
I'm going to ask one of the greatest throwers of. What do you say? What do you say you threw?
I threw a sinker.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's what my goal was. Now, some nights it turned into a 2-seamer, which is really when it's level, like that home run. But you're really looking to make the ball go down at least the width of the barrel of the bat.
Ball and a strike on Carpenter. And a bouncer to short, Mookie Betts.
You'll see all kinds of throwing angles from Mookie at short. That's one of the things that he's really concentrated on as he's gotten better there at that position. Just finding what's comfortable for each throw from each part of the diamond, the length, how much time he has. That one, he times almost go from the land down under.
The way that he put it, Oral, is that he used this offseason as a chance to discover his own style as a shortstop. Whereas last year was a crash course. Remember, he found out he was going to move to shortstop and play there for the first time since he was an Overton High School Bobcat, like a week before the season. And so he got there and grinded away at just getting himself game ready to play the position, not thinking about what is my style or what makes me most comfortable. No, just let's get ready to do what I can to hold this spot down. In on the hands there, Riley Green. That's a fair ball. And out number 2. This offseason, though, more of an exploration where he could take his time and see what made the most sense, where he was taking grounders every day. Petey Montero, video man, and does so many things beyond that. He would hit Mookie ground balls, and for the first month or so, it was just about footwork, not even really worrying about making any throws. They started layering the work more and more. He'd go to Arizona, work with Chris Woodward, all to put a feeling in place like, this is what I am. I'm more of a downhill athletic guy, trying to channel the things that made him special in the outfield to short. And you see more guys playing the position like that. Not the traditional Tom Amansky tape, fielding the ground balls, 2 hands between your legs. 1 ball, 1 strike on Torkelson, and he's leaned into that more dynamic, free-flowing, modern version of the position.
A lot of your best athletes on your Little League teams, your first organizational teams, they play shortstop, and there's not a lot of instruction at that level. You're just playing the field naturally. And I think that's what he was searching for. And then once that natural style and feeling came, that's when you add the mechanics in to make it more consistent. If you start with mechanics, boy, it can really lock you up.
Yeah, the last kind of mechanical piece and cue that he had to come up with was for the arm angle. And I know you say there's going to be different arm angles, but for your average throw, the cue that he's given himself is get my hand by my ear. And that, for him, that's not going to work for everybody, but for him, it gets his hand in the position that he needs it. So those throws are truer, because the biggest issue last year, 8 of the 9 errors were throws because it would tail and it would cut, and he'd get on the side of the ball.
Yeah, there's a difference between feel and real. So what you're telling yourself you're trying to do is not what you're going to maybe see on video, but that feeling and that instruction in your mind is what gets you in the right position.
Line drive, base hit, center field, Spencer Torkelson.
It's a young, free-swinging team against a guy who's throwing an awful lot of strikes, and they've barreled up a couple. And here's one that's up in the strike zone, doesn't do a lot. Center cut, and he doesn't miss it. And you know what? When a guy this strong and can hit it as far as he can, just gets a base hit on that pitch, you're glad to get the ball back.
Been on base 6 of his 7 times up this season. Inning kept alive for Colt Keith. Outside, ball 1. Now, Torkelson was making his case during spring training, because coming into spring training, he's wondering, where am I going to play? Because the guy at the plate right here, Colt Keith, they've moved to first base, the spot that just a couple years ago Torkelson was going to be the franchise savior at. So he's had to earn his way back as the DH. And part of the thing is the injuries in center field created less depth and less of even a choice, but going to knock the door down with those numbers right there during spring training. And has validated that over the first 24 hours of this regular season. It's not always a perfect straight climb. Rarely is it, even for the top pick of the draft.
And from organization to organization, year to year, spring training stats either matter or don't matter. There wasn't a whole lot of guys on the Dodger roster that really like, I got to have a big spring to be on the team. But for the Tigers, once they got some of the injuries, it was like every at bat meant something.
Yamamoto's 2-2 to Keith. Downstairs, runner goes, and a stolen base for Torkelson.
Here's the Tigers' chance, a runner in scoring position. At this point in the year, they are 0 for 17. Yamamoto and Barnes going to try and strand him out there.
That's the first stolen base for Spencer Torkelson in 2 years, and only the 4th in his 4 major league seasons. Payoff. Lays off, and a walk. First one taken by Detroit after they had 6 walks yesterday. It's already 59 pitches for Yamamoto.
It's been a little bit of a struggle. A couple of barreled up balls that got 2 runs on the board, but get out of this situation right here. No tack on runs. Give them a couple more zeros, maybe 2 or 3 zeros, and it's a fight, and give the Dodgers a chance to have a lead in a few innings.
First and second, 2 away for McKinstry. Disappearing splitter for strike 1. Yamamoto, because of that pitch largely, was one of the best pitchers in the National League against left-handed hitters. Reverse split so severe that it was a right-hander up near the top of those standings against lefties. In on him to end the inning. Couple solo shots for the Tigers, though. Torres gets him here. 2-0, middle 3. world champion Dodger baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Lexus. Experience amazing. Speaking of amazing, look at those rings. Third one for Mookie Betts. Only active player that has 3 rings. A weekend launching the 2025 season and doing due diligence, doing justice to the championship run. Looking back on that. Only new addition to the lineup right here, Michael Conforto. Well, the last team to repeat as a champion, the New York Yankees, three-peat, 98 through 2000. One of the things the Yankees always did was bring in new blood. So you got the guys that you bring back, but you also bring in guys like Michael Conforto that so badly want a ring for themselves, that want to taste what other new teammates had.
It brings an edge to the locker room. You walk into the locker room in spring training, it doesn't look the same. It's not the same chemistry. All of a sudden there's a new camaraderie. They're still kind of doing the Freddie, aren't they, on doubles and stuff? But there'll be some new dances or new handshakes.
Conforto's down on strikes, 1 gone in the 3rd. Flaherty gets his 2nd K. Dodgers still looking for their first hit against Jack.
We've seen some camaraderie and smiles between Jack and a few hitters, and if he gets his rhythm, that is something that pitchers would like. They like the fact that I'm having fun out here and you're responding to me. So you might want to just stare out there and step out, call time, and do different things to start upsetting his chemistry on the mound.
Well, if there's anybody you would pick to not flash a smile and not play that fun game, it'd be this guy.
Yeah.
Andy Pages. Pinpoint, 1 ball, 1 strike. Pages comes into spring training looking good physically, and first few days of the season he's looked good in the batter's box. Just nice presence about it.
A little more mature in his look. The mannerisms in the box, the gyrations are a little slower and more predictable of what he's going to do and how he's going to set up.
On this 2-1 from Flaherty, pokes it foul. 248 as a rookie last year. A couple home runs in the championship series against the Mets, and then his first opening day roster. He won the job over James Outman in center field. Right into your living room. These days, though, I guess this could be coming wherever. It could be in your Uber. It could be we're sitting at the mall. If people go to the mall anymore. He's worked it full. Good at-bats down at the bottom of the order. A couple key at-bats in Tokyo. They got Ohtani back to the plate. He's reached in just under half his plate appearances so far. On this 3-2, he takes strike 3. Flaherty to the outside edge with that fastball. You couldn't have walked it up there and placed it any more accurately.
He's got really good rhythm right now with the breaking stuff and this fastball away to the glove side. It is so accurate. The height, yeah, you don't quite want it there, but when it's on the edge like that, that is a good pitch.
This is one of the best pitchers in baseball last year, Flaherty. A huge turnaround from the year before. Starts Barnes with a strike. Years of dealing with injuries, wrapping up his time in St. Louis. Then he goes to Baltimore. 2023, Flaherty had a 5 ERA. 2 points lower last year. Barnes went around and it's 0-2. Highest strikeout rate of his career, lowest walk rate of his career. And the contract seemed a bit like settling. 2-year deal for a guy who had such a good season, but most of the money's in the first year, and then there's an opt-out. So he's got a chance if he does what he did last year. Hey, go do it again in free agency. Strikes out Barnes. Life to that fastball. Strikes out the side in the 3rd. Jack Flaherty making quite a return. Back here at Dodger Stadium on a pair of solo home runs, the Tigers have a 2-0 lead. Joe Davis, Or Hershiser, Kirsten Watson. The gold trim jerseys, reigning champions. Yamamoto, 1 season in the big leagues and 1 big old fat ring. It's the guy that got him in the 2nd inning, Dylan Dingler. Former Ohio State Buckeye with his 2nd career home run.
Ball was slightly up, and he got the barrel on it. It is a surprise when a guy that has so few home runs catches you.
At 167 in a handful of games in the big leagues last year for the Tigers as they made that late season run to the playoffs. Dodgers saw him in July and they gave Dodgers all kinds of problems, but they were below 500 at the deadline and sold. That's how the Dodgers got Jack Flaherty. They had the best record in baseball over the last almost 2 months. And so they enter this season with, between that run they had last year and how wide open the Central is, a lot of excitement around this team. That's a good baseball town when the Tigers are in it. Yamamoto's 1-2. This time he rings him up with the fastball. His 6th.
The thing that got the Tigers going was they started to win close games. The bullpen really came together. The offense was about the same, and that really, at any time they were losing, it was offensive support they were looking for, but the pitching staff really picked them up.
Same thing this year. They're going to have Skubal and Jack Flaherty back there. They've got a Rookie of the Year candidate. Jackson Jobe is going to be in that rotation. Bouncing ball to 2nd here. He's going to get Trey Sweeney on 1 pitch. 2 up and 2 down in the 4th. The Central last season had 3 playoff teams, not because it was a gauntlet, but because it was wide open and parity across the American League. And going to be the same thing this year, not just in the division for A.J. Hinch and the Tigers, but across the AL, where projection systems don't have any team winning more than 90 games. Anybody could come out of the American League. And these days, you just got to get in.
Well, and if you're a general manager of one of those clubs, you're thinking about what piece can I acquire at the deadline or prior to put me over the top. So early results here in the Central could be key to who becomes a buyer.
That's a tough thing when you're looking at injuries. You know, you say, okay, it's fine, we'll get right. But it might come down to 1 game. Without a few of your top guys in the outfield right out of the gates, and a tough start here. Playing against the Dodgers. They're going to go up to Seattle from here. Mariners are going to be good, especially the pitching staff. On an 0-2, Kreidler takes a ball.
Yamamoto right here is trying to post a 0, give the Dodgers a chance to have another comeback win this year. 2 out of 3 in the comeback variety.
Bookend K's in this 1, 2, 3, 4th, and 7 total for Yamamoto. Needed just 9 pitches. Steadies the ship here in the 4th. Top of the order coming up.
Stadium on Wednesday and take home a Shohei Ohtani 2024 National League MVP bobblehead. Visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
That's some great producing. Mike Levy's in mid-season form. An Ohtani promo and an Ohtani in the batter's box. In fact, the Ohtani.
Yes.
The batter's box. Walked his first time on 4 pitches. 3-time MVP, trying to join Barry Bonds as the first guy, or as the only other guy to win 3 straight. 3 of the last 4 seasons he's won. He's joined Frank Robinson already as the only guy to win MVP in both leagues. Sends this one a mile into the sky. Shallow center field, Trey Sweeney and Ryan Kreidler. Eventually it comes down, and it's the first out of the 4th. Mookie Betts. I mentioned to you that he feels like he's trending right, and he's measuring getting better more than just stepping on the scale. He's measuring it with bat speed as well, which is something that you can get data on these days. In spring training, he'd gotten it to 74 miles per hour, which is a little above average, but it was as fast as he'd ever been. So he's like, man, I'm in a good place. Last week, no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't break 68. Might not seem like a huge deal, 74 miles per hour to 68, but for every mile per hour, that's 7 feet of carry on a fly ball. So we're talking about 40 feet lost from where he was swinging to where he was feeling his weakest a few days ago. The progress that he sees there, though, is that he's back up into the low 70s today. On this 1-2 from Flaherty, Betts grounds one left side. It's McKinstry at third. 2 out.
Well, didn't he lose about 10% body weight? So he lost about 10% bat speed.
Yeah, and he's saying it. He's like, I can't play at 150 yet. I can't. That's kind of down where he was when he was vegan for a year. He's like, I can't hit like that.
Right.
And so he said, no matter how perfect my swing is, no matter how hard I'm swinging, I've maxed out. I'm putting all the power I can, and 68 is the most I can do for bat speed. It just ain't enough. So trying to get back there to 174, 175 where he was during spring.
Yep. I mean, if you're concentrated on bat speed, you're going to lose some accuracy too.
And that's what makes him, it's not the bat speed, it's not elite. It's good enough with the bat accuracy you're talking about. And just hits the ball correctly, compresses it, backspins it. He gets a lot of home runs that are just gone enough. So that added 1 or 2 miles per hour, that added 7 or 14 feet of distance, makes all the difference for him. But to tie it back to what he was saying earlier, what we mentioned during his first at-bat, he's confident he's got the blueprint. He's going to do the same thing he did this offseason to get to that great place he was before he got sick. 2-2 on Freeman. Easier said than done, though, when you're also playing a major league game every day.
You are burning some calories every day as an everyday player. You're going to have to load up.
Freeman yanks one to second. It's caught by Torres, and the Dodgers are still searching for their first hit against Jack Flaherty through 4 innings. World champion Dodger Baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by your Southern California Toyota dealers. The newly extended Dave Roberts has his second ring. Top of the order for the Tigers, Gleyber Torres staying in the game. A bit surprising to see after he grabbed his oblique rounding the bases on the home run. 1-0 from Yamamoto, misses outside, ball 2. 7 Ks for Yamamoto, and so free jumbo jacks for everybody already. 5 of those 7 Ks have come on his splitter.
Both these pitchers tonight are owning that outside corner to righties. The glove side fastball for both these righties has been outstanding. That has set up Yamamoto's splitter, and it's set up Jack Flaherty's breaking balls.
No hits against Flaherty through 4.
Yeah, the 4-pitch walk to Ohtani to start the game, and since then he's been in the strike zone about 75% of the time.
Yamamoto delivers, and foul tip under the corner as a cutter. She only threw 1 of in Japan. It's an 80% fastball splitter in that start against the Cubs. From 2-0 to 2-2, and now the count is full. Only threw 72 pitches total in that game, so 75 at this point. Normally not anything to glance at, but he's already passed where he was in his first start. Popped out of his hand, and he's walked Torres to start the 5th.
Right fielder Kerry Carpenter.
Any way to post a 0, give your team a chance to come back. Who knows what workload they might stop him at. It could be in the back of his mind his last inning.
Tigers 2, Dodgers nothing. Top of the 5th, Kerry Carpenter. 27-year-old in his 4th year, and he takes a ball from Yamamoto. The American League slugging leaderboard last year went Aaron Judge, Bobby Witt, Kerry Carpenter, a former 19th round draft pick. Went where 19th round picks go. He went to rookie ball that first summer. That was 2019. The next year there was no minor league season, so he went to Dick's Sporting Goods. He worked at Dick's for the full year. You can check his LinkedIn. It's still there.
They must have had a cage.
Well, he did change his swing in that year too. So yeah, they got one of those cages off to the side. Quiet day, go fix my swing, and he's hit for power since then. Go to Dick's Sporting Goods, come out with a bat like Judge and Witt. Now the issue is keeping him healthy. Missed half of last season with a back injury. He's ready for the postseason. Had one of the biggest home runs in Tigers history. Game 2 of the division series against Emmanuel Clase. The untouchable Emmanuel Clase broke a scoreless tie with a game-winning home run in the 9th. Anthony Banda has started to warm.
These Tigers have gotten the leading lady on over 50% of the time so far in this Dodger series. They're having no trouble setting the table.
Only way they've gotten anybody in, though, solo home runs, 2 of them today. The great equalizer, the long ball. Dodgers have been out hit in their last 2 games, but because they've hit 3 home runs and out homered the opposition, winner. Torres off first, 2-2 from Yamamoto. Got him. Splitter fades away. 8th strikeout for Yamamoto.
Drop 3rd strike, first base occupied, so this is a punch out.
Left fielder Riley Green.
8 Ks and 4 1/3 for Yoshinobu. Now the All-Star Riley Green. A little low with the fastball.
It's a good shot, though. Looking for a ground ball, looking for a first pitch strike, and just missed.
Found it that time.
They haven't had to make adjustments to left-handed hitters tonight, but they've made an adjustment to the righties. They've stayed away from the righties, trying to keep them away from the pull side. But the lefties with the fastball and the split have been pretty solid with their strategy. The home runs on a high split and a two-seamer that was in off the plate. So those balls launched to the pull side. So with the righties, they're trying to stay away from that power side. And to the lefties, just kind of keeping the same strategy, low fastballs and splitters mostly.
Good lead for Torres. 2-1 to the plate and a foul ball. 2-2. Got it off himself in some pain right there.
Went back to the cutter, looked like there. Getting some feel for that pitch. There, it hit the shin guard.
Well placed.
What a good reason to win. I think it still hurts even after it hits the shin guard.
Just blunts it a little bit, huh?
Yeah.
On 2-2, Riley Green. Swings and misses. The splitter again finishes the job. The 9th K for Yamamoto.
This is nasty. Cutter inside at 91, and then 91 going the opposite direction with even more depth.
17 swings and misses for Yamamoto. One shy of his career high. Torkelson pops curveball in there, but it misses. Torkelson 1 for 2. Dodgers have retired him just once and is 7 times up there. That's the cutter. 2-0.
It's a great job by Austin Barnes right there, mixing up the sequencing and going to a pitch that he has a good feel for right now. Keeping the ball away from the power, and especially right here.
On a 2-0. It's back to a curve. Buckled his knees a little bit for a strike. There are solo home runs for the Tigers to lead 2-0. Yamamoto 9 Ks has matched his career high. Here's his 2-1. Fastball speeds in there, and that looks really fast after you watch a 77-mile-per-hour lollipop.
Yeah, it only takes about 10 to 12 mile an hour to get a swing and miss. So when you get a close to 20 miles an hour differential, you got a really good chance of getting fooled.
Crowd urging him on, sensing this could be it right here. His 2-2. His 10th K. In his Dodger Stadium 2025 debut, Yoshi Yamamoto with 10 strikeouts in 5 innings.
As we celebrate Oral Hershiser Night presented by Bank of America, the first 40,000 fans in attendance will take home his 1988 World Champion replica jersey. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions. And if you saw the commercial, I think you guys might have seen a little preview of what's to come, so make sure you get here early to get those special replica jerseys. Joe?
Joe Davis in the show off for Hershiser, hopping back, showing the gun. Teoscar Hernandez leads off this inning, 1 ball, 1 strike. Against Jack Flaherty, Yamamoto looks like he's done those 10 Ks, new career high for him. Dodger offense try to get him off of the hook. The 2 solo shots have the Tigers in front. 8 of those 10 Ks coming on his splitter.
Clayton right there, giving him the first high five after the hug from Dave Roberts. Clayton was the one that chided me during the first pitch to back up.
Oh, he told you to?
Yeah, he's like, back up, back up.
You tell him your hip is like a week old?
It's okay. It's all right. 26 days, Joe. 26 days. But it feels like a week.
Almost a month. It looks good on you.
Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah. So many things to say, but we're on the air.
2-2 on Teoscar Hernandez. 4 innings for Jack Flaherty. Walked Shohei Ohtani on 4 pitches to open the game. No base runners since. 3-2 on Teoscar. Jack Flaherty trying to do what he did to his old team last year. Shoved against the St. Louis Cardinals. 14 Ks. Took a shutout into the 7th against St. Louis. Hey, Dodgers got a base runner. First one since Ohtani to start the game.
We know Shohei and Teo are very close. The same results and at bats there.
Goes back to when they were facing each other, and they were both in the American League West, and Ohtani hit Teoscar with a pitch. This is in Anaheim, and then on the way out of the stadium that night, Teoscar's walking out to the bus, and Ohtani poked out of the Angels clubhouse and apologized to him, and they struck up a conversation and became friends, seeing each other at that point 13 times a season when division teams used to play each other more. Unlikely friends, one of them a Japanese speaker, one of them a Spanish speaker with some English, but universal language of baseball. Those 2 guys, fast friends and now close friends, being on the same team. 1 ball, 1 strike on Muncy.
Well, guys, just quickly with Teoscar and Shohei and their relationship, as we know that they're very close, but Shohei Ohtani actually speaks some Spanish, and so the 2 of them, when you hear them talking in the clubhouse together, it is oftentimes in Spanish, guys.
And Teoscar's responsible for a lot of that. Helping teach him, and has passed on some. Shohei's passed on some Japanese to Teoscar. I think we all picked up a little bit of Japanese on the Tokyo trip last week. 2-2 on Muncy, representing the tying run here in the 5th. Arigato.
Very good, Joe.
Arigato.
Arigato para ti.
2-2. Got him swinging. Jack Flaherty with his 5th K.
Well, there have been smiles between these 2 earlier in the game, but right now, Max Muncy heading back to the Dodger dugout. He is not smiling at all after that swing. Just an off-speed pitch that gets him out in front.
1 on 1 out for Tommy Edman. Strikeout victim his first time. Now, Tommy grew up in La Jolla, like in the Padres, but he was born in Michigan, where his dad was a graduate assistant at the University of Michigan and is a Michigan native and a lifelong Tigers fan. So Tommy grew up cheering for the Tigers a little bit. Teenager during some of those glory years with Miguel Cabrera and Maglio Ordonez, Victor Martinez, and he had Scherzer and Verlander. And 4 straight division titles those Tigers teams won. Tommy was peak fandom at that point. On this 1-1 pitch, shows bunt, takes a ball. Defense turned around for the lefty to pull. A lot of room on the left side. And the coach's kid, do whatever the game calls for. On this 2-1, Edman swings and fouls it. 2-2.
Tommy, a left-handed pitcher killer, batting from the right side, made an adjustment this year so far with his left-handed stance. He's a little bit taller, kind of frees up your hips. The more you crouch down and get your knees past the balls of your feet or past your toes, it can lock up your hips.
Muscles this ball into right center field, a base hit, first one of the game for LA. Tommy Edman provides it with one gone here in the 5th.
Gleyber Torres on this flare playing a little shenanigans with Teoscar Hernandez, pretending like he's going to catch it and throw it back to first. So Teoscar has to freeze and retreat a little bit, but has enough to get to second base. But you can see on this little jam shot, Gleyber just pretending like he's going to catch it. Teoscar realizes it in the nick of time and moves up 90.
Just like that, tying run aboard, go-ahead run at the plate in the form of Michael Conforto, who is so excited to make his Dodger Stadium debut in Dodger blue. Happy to have his home ballpark be anywhere other than Oracle Park. Tough place on hitters. His last 2 years in San Francisco. Last year was a totally different guy on the road. Against Flaherty. He swings and misses. He struck out his first time. He's hit Jack hard throughout their previous meetings. 4 for 6 with a home run against Flaherty.
That was a good pass at that first pitch breaking ball. It was middle of the plate.
Tying run aboard in the 5th. Punches this one to third. McKinstry's got it cleanly to short for one, but a wide throw from Sweeney keeps the door open for the Dodgers here.
It's that odd 5-6-3 attempt at a double play. Coming across the bag, not really getting the complete footwork. Gets the throw off line headed to first. You can see it's bobbled coming out of the glove, and the footwork was a little awkward. And good job by Conforto not assuming a double play and hustling down there to beat the tag.
All right, or let's see if Pages can make them pay here. Tying run aboard. Pages the go-ahead run at the plate. Took strike 3 called his first time, one of the 5 for Flaherty. This is where Jack Flaherty was exceptional last year. 3rd in the majors with runners in scoring position. Batters hit 183. Remember, right from his first start with the Dodgers, made an impression by getting out of these situations. On the other side, though, trying to turn that reputation upside down. Pages up there. 2 gone in the 5th. First one from Flaherty. Pages swings and misses.
That makes you very popular in the locker room. You put up those numbers after being traded.
Pages gets points. And the bases get juiced.
Coming back-to-back fastballs and just overthrows, and one slips out, the second one.
And so this game finds Austin Barnes. Bases loaded, 2 gone in the 5th. For the longest tenured Dodger position player starting his 11th season with the club tonight. Hernandez at 3rd, Conforto at 2nd, Pages at 1st. Flaherty to the Dodger 9-hitter with ball 1, and Ohtani waiting on deck. Austin has 1 grand slam in his career, in that career year of 2017. On this 1-0, he takes ball 2. Walls closing in on Flaherty a bit here.
When Austin has gotten hot with the bat over the course of his career, it's been when he is aggressive in the strike zone.
2-0. In the air to right field for Kerry Carpenter, and the Dodgers leave him loaded in the 5th. We're all remembering Rob Menschel, decades as a cameraman here at Dodger games, right-hand man of Vin Scully, one of Vin's most trusted people, and a close friend and like a family member to so many of the longtime crew here. Passed away this offseason. And it does not feel right not having Robbie here with us. It's the Tigers 2, the Dodgers nothing, as Anthony Banda takes over for Yamamoto here in the 6th inning and gets strike one on Colt Keith. What a find he was last year, huh?
Boy, even during the ring ceremony, just watching him go up there, listening to the introduction of him coming over and the impact that he made. So many different pieces that the Dodgers find that make a huge impact, but you didn't know anything about him before they got here.
And why would you have? He had a 5.69 ERA over parts of 7 seasons. It's not like he hadn't had chances. 7 seasons with 7 different teams, and he just hadn't been able to figure it out. Last year, 58 games, including the postseason, had a 2.80 ERA, and considering the postseason, 10 games, zeros in 9 of those 10 games. That's a long way from considering retirement and coaching his nephew's team.
Why retire when you can get some more jewelry?
Right? I might play again and get me a ring.
That ring, is it a ring or is it a hood ornament?
It's a big one. Yeah. Right down the chute. And like a house by the side of the road, Colt Keith takes strike 3.
2 breaking balls, 1 fast one, 1 slow one, and then the heater.
That house by the side of the road line is Ernie Harwell, the legendary Detroit Tigers announcer, who actually started his career as a Dodgers announcer. McKinstry fouls this one off. Vin replaced Ernie Harwell. Ernie left for the New York Giants and eventually made his way to Detroit. Long career, legendary career as the voice of the Tigers. 0-1 to McKinstry upstairs. I know you remember listening to Ernie.
For sure, I know you did, and we talked about Tommy Edman having some Detroit roots. I was 10 years old. We lived in Southfield, Michigan. It was 1968, and the Tigers won it all. The Year of the Tiger was the name of the album that was after that season, and it was Ray Lane and Ernie Harwell narrating the highlights. And for those of you not old enough to know, it was a record album, 33, that have come back now.
Hip. McKinstry chases way out there. 2 out. Danny McLean, 31 wins for that 68 Tigers team.
Mickey Lolich won 3 games in the World Series. Left-handed starter for the Tigers.
Dodger Dylan Dingler.
You can get free MLB.TV with T-Mobile. Redeem today at T-Mobile.com/MLB. Tigers 2, Dodgers nothing. Top of the 6th. Dylan Dingler's got one of their 2 home runs in this game. Hits a line drive to center field for Andy Pages. That's 3 outs already, Andy. Champion Dodger Baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Jack in the Box. The Smash Jack is back with so much more beef. And by your local Kia dealers. Visit Kia.com to discover movement that inspires. Dodgers down 2-0. Just one hit against Jack Flaherty as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning, and the top of the order comes up.
Designated hitter.
Ohtani in this one, a 4-pitch walk in the 1st inning, a fly out in the 4th inning. After he had 54 home runs in his first season as a Dodger, he's got 2 in the first 3 games this year. One to the pull side in Tokyo, one the other way yesterday. The first pitch from Flaherty here in the 6th. Ohtani fouls it off.
ESPN handled the first game, and I got a chance to sit down right in the front row behind home plate. And the person I was with said, "Doesn't it have a different sound when he makes contact?" And I said, "It sure does."
Even, we talked about this last year, but even like the fly ball that he hit last inning, it's just different than everybody else's fly balls.
This lever system and his ability to use all of its potential.
Big, strong. He's a monster in the weight room. And then there's the flexibility, the rubber band component of it that's developed partially with his years as a swimmer. Was a good enough swimmer where the thought was that he pursued that, he would have been an Olympian. But a lot of the shoulder flexibility that he has that leads to some of the stuff we're talking about comes from those days and that mobility.
Shortstop.
Yesterday, he hit a ball like that towards second base, and it was hit a little bit harder and made it through for a single. That one he almost got.
One away in the 6th inning. Mookie Betts comes up. Off the end of the bat, shallow center field, and the Dodgers have a couple hits in this game, both of them dunk shots. Betts is on, and the tying run is coming up.
Who needs more bat speed?
Right? Hit him where they aim.
You take it. It's amazing how a ball hit like this will bring a hitter confidence just because he gets the positive result.
Hey, if he hadn't gotten sick, that's a fly out to center.
That's right.
Freddie Freeman. Left center field, pretty deep. Kreidler back. Freddie Freeman ties the game. Here comes Freeman with the tying run, and here come the Freddie chants.
In the ring ceremony, they saved the best for last. It was Mookie third to last, Freddie second to last, and Ohtani last. Wow.
Day after they celebrate one of the greatest home runs in baseball history, his game-1 grand slam, his first hit of the ensuing season is a game-tying home run. 2-2 in the 6th. Teoscar Hernandez laid on it, 0-2.
3 home runs yesterday, scored all the runs. That home run there scores all the runs tonight. 7 runs, 4 home runs in this series.
One and two. Another look.
This swing sets him up for another comeback win.
That's an impressive swing right there. That thing.
Off-speed pitch that he still hit to the opposite way. Got it back spinning, not side spinning, and powered it out of here.
And not just over the wall, because he doesn't usually hit tape measure wow home runs. You add together the fact that that's the other way and it was that far gone. Man, oh man. It's gone from 0-2 to 3-2. More chances teams had to see Jack Flaherty, the more success they had last year. Stays alive.
It takes some mental discipline right now. You give up that big fly to Freddie, the game's now tied, and you're on the mound with only 1 out facing this lineup. You can't let the disappointment get into your gut and apply it to your concentration. He is battling it out there right now.
Against Teoscar Hernandez, who grounds the ball left side, cut off by McKinstry. 2 out. Tyler Holton warms. That's actually Javier Baez over at third is checked into the game, replacing McKinstry. And it looks like that is going to do it for Jack Flaherty. Here's A.J. Hinch. Or perhaps, he is going to make the change. So Flaherty takes a no-hitter into the 5th inning. Dodgers get a hit there and finally crack through, get to the scoreboard in the 6th. It's Freddie Freeman. His first hit of the season is a game-tying home run. So long, ball. Hello, tie score. World Champion Dodger Baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa, celebrating 20 years of good times. Opening week presented by PNC Bank, brilliantly boring since 1865. Freddie Freeman with another big swing. This one not quite as big, though not many are. On his way to World Series MVP honors. First walk-off grand slam in World Series history. First guy to homer in the first 4 games of the Fall Classic. Tied at 2 as Max Muncy fouls off Tyler Holton's first pitch. The lefty out of the Tigers bullpen debuted with the Arizona Diamondbacks a couple years ago. Diamondbacks cut him loose, and in 2 years with Detroit, a .215 ERA.
Two different pitchers depending on who's up to bat. Against lefties, more sinker, slider, sweeper. Against righties, more cutter, change. He was one of the reasons the Tigers made the run at the end of the year.
Yeah, bullpen covered more innings than any pen in baseball last year, especially down the stretch. Really, it was just Skubal and piecing the pen together. He strikes out Muncy to finish off this 6th inning, but a brand new ball game. It's Freddie Freeman with a 2-run home run, all tied up after 6.
All new Backstage Dodgers go inside the first team meeting in spring training. Blake Snell coaches the next generation of players, and Dave Roberts is mic'd up while he watches a bullpen session. Don't miss Backstage Dodgers. That's tonight after the postgame show.
Freddie Freeman spoils Jack Flaherty's shutout, and Jack heaving some gum at him. You. It's been awesome seeing the smiles between Jack Flaherty and these Dodger players. Very telling. 2-2 game. It's up to the bullpens. On to the 7th. Kirby Yates, one of the new Dodgers, to face off with the bottom part of the order here. He's got strike 1 on Trace Sweeney. Here's another one of those guys, Oral, who's played for a long time. Still playing at a high level, but a guy they go grab that they know not just performing at a high level, but is hungry to get his ring. Weak grounder to second. Tommy Edman.
Fastball split. That split right there shattered that bat.
Talked about that pitch a little bit in Japan. That's the pitch that he's made a career out of. 147 career average against that pitch. First learned how to grip it from Masahiro Tanaka in New York. That was just off to the side, talked about it a couple times, never really threw it in a game, but had it in his pocket. And then longtime buddy of his, Alex Cobb, they were together in the Tampa Bay system, but off-season catch partners. We know Cobb has a good splitter. Cobb's actually with the Tigers now on the injured list, but this guy's back together again here in this series. Squeezed right there, ball and a strike on Kreidler. But he toyed with it for years and then finally got to a place where they encouraged him to use it. San Diego was out of the race and they said, we don't mind you trying that pitch out. And he says he still remembers the first few times he used it in a game. Colorado Rockies. Padres are 20 games out of first place. So let's see how this works. And the swings that he was getting on it, he's thinking, okay, there might be something to this. And then he started getting swings and misses in zone. He's like, I get it when guys are chasing, but guys can't hit it in the zone. Something's working right. And he's made a career out of it. 2019, the first full season with San Diego, he was the best reliever in baseball. He had 41 saves, and then he goes away for a while. His Tommy John surgery. Looks like that's maybe the last of Kirby Yates, but he comes back last year and again leads the majors in ERA. He strikes out Kreidler on a splitter in the zone, and years after he found the splitter, he'd tell you that when he gets that, that's when he knows it's right.
Yeah, it looks like a juicy fastball, and at the very end, late movement is what messes up a hitter the most because they have to make a decision, and then after that decision of where they're going to launch the bat to, it moves differently, they're in trouble.
Back to the top here, and Baez, who has replaced Gleyber Torres. So that ultimately was the defensive move last inning. Torres leaves the game. We saw him grabbing his side after hitting a home run earlier. So Baez is coming at third. McKinstry's moved over to second. Dodgers 3-0. They've gotten 3 saves from 3 different pitchers. Kirby Yates not one of those 3 pitchers, even though he's the guy on this roster that has more career saves than anybody. 95 since finding that splitter. San Diego to Atlanta to Texas. And now to the Dodgers for his 11th Major League season. His 2-1 to Baez. 2-2.
Well, there's the traditional bullpen where you have your setup guys, your long guys, and your closer. There's the bullpen by committee where the roles get mixed up a little bit, and then there's just all hands on deck. And in some ways, the Dodgers are just all hands on deck. We'll tell you when you're up. And it could be the 4th inning or it could be the 9th. Especially for a guy who has a save this year already, and Alex Vesey. He could be in there no matter when Dave Roberts rings that phone down there to the bullpen.
When you add Phillips and Kopech back into the equation, you've got 5 guys with significant closing experience. And just having been there is a big deal. Another 2-2. Baez swings and misses, and Kirby Yates with a breeze of an inning. We stretch in a 2-2 game. World champion Dodger baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Carl's Jr. Introducing Carl's Jr.'s new triple burgers. Next time, tell them to triple it. Tied at 2, bottom of the 7th. Tommy Edman leads off, and he gets a chance here against a left-handed pitcher and fouls off Tyler Holton's first pitch. Tommy Edman absolutely crushes left-handed pitching, and he's been a Dodger Blue long enough for. You probably know that by now. 412 during the regular season last year, 11 for 17 in the postseason against lefties. 1 ball, 1 strike against Holton. One and 2. Dodgers trying to get off to their first 4-0 start since 1981.
That year finished up pretty well.
Pretty well. Started 6-0 ultimately that year. 2 of those 6 games were complete games by Fernando. That was Fernando Mania. Ground ball up the middle. Stabbed at second. 1 away. So Conforto is going to face a left-handed pitcher here, which you shouldn't bat an eye at. Last year he had 285 against left-handers and had the highest slugging of any lefty-lefty in the National League.
Freddie Freeman turns it around a little bit with left on left. They'll have some competition this year. Gotta push each other.
Shoots this one left center field. Kreidler on the run. He'll get there.
Head to Dodger Stadium on Monday when the first 40,000 fans in attendance will receive an adult Dodgers hoodie courtesy of Bank of America. Visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
We were talking about projection systems earlier, not having anybody really out ahead in the American League. In the National League, Dodgers 104, 105 wins. Projection systems think. Then it's the Braves, about 94 wins. And so the computers think that those 2 teams meeting up next week are the top 2 teams in baseball. That is before they get back Acuna and Strider. Both those guys coming back from injury. Should be a fun few games beginning on Monday. Pages with 2 gone in the 7th. Waves and misses. 0-2.
Phillies might have something to say about that projection.
East is going to be tough. Braves, Phillies, Mets. Pages in an 0-2 hole. Holton delivers.
Tried to backdoor that cutter right there. Fastball cutter change, mostly to right-handers.
Alex Vesia. A couple lefties due up next inning. Kerry Carpenter and Riley Green.
How can they pitch me in the 8th? I've got to save this year.
Let's go.
What's going on? What's my role?
Fly ball carved out to right field. Carpenter settles under it. And good stuff from Tyler Holton. Tonight's PNC Bank Slow Moments. Taking a look at yesterday's moments. Opening day, always special at Dodger Stadium. Extra special when you're raising a banner and partying with Ice Cube. And today the rings handed out. Even on very large human beings, those rings look huge. Tied up at 2, top of the 8th inning. A couple solo home runs for the Tigers back in the 2nd and the 3rd. They don't have a hit, though, since the 3rd inning. 0 for their last 9 with 7 Ks and 14 Ks total. Manuel Margot pinch hitting for Kerry Carpenter. Swings through Alex Vesia's first pitch. Already Vesia's 3rd outing over the first 4 games this year. Gave up a run yesterday on a home run to Torkelson. Margot swings and misses. 0-2 just like that. Margot had a good Tigers debut just a few days after they signed him with all those injuries we were talking about in the outfield. They signed Margot less than a week ago. Had 2 hits and a sacrifice fly on opening day. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. 15 Ks.
15 of 22 outs. Yamamoto had the split finger going with his K function. Got 8 Ks on the splitty. The most he got last year on the splitty were 5.
Splitty. 1 away for Green. Slashes the first pitch foul. Alex Vesia coming off his best season. 176 last year. Second in the National League, Tanner Scott, the only guy that was better. Postseason, 7 games, didn't give up a run. Spinner to the knees, strike 2. Sharp bite on that.
The optical illusion fastball really started and made his career, but the evolution of the breaking ball has really turned him into somebody who is really hard to hit.
Off the end of the bat, backhand Muncy steps into the throw with a fast runner. He gets him 2 out.
Back-to-back breaking ball to record that 2nd out.
Yeah, the league hit 106 against that pitch last year and had the lowest slugging of any breaking pitch in baseball. Not out of the woods yet, and he gets a rematch right here with the guy that took him deep yesterday in Torkelson. Starts him with the slider. Torkelson, after reaching 5 times yesterday, 1 for 3 today. On this 0-1, takes a change up, 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's his home run yesterday.
After this at bat in this situation in a 2-2 game right now, his first job is to keep him in the park. His second job is to get him out.
Line down the left side and a fair ball. Into the corner for Torkelson. First base hit for the Tigers since the 3rd. It's a 2-out double. And the go-ahead run is in scoring position. Torkelson having a wonderful opening weekend.
They were 0 for 15 until that at bat right there, and he does keep him in the park, but Torkelson gets himself into scoring position here in this tie game late.
Mark Pryor's out for a visit. And Andy Ibanez comes to the plate as a pinch hitter for Colt Keith. Hit leadoff yesterday, went 0 for 5. Dodgers took the first game of this series 5-4. Tight, tense stuff late. Same thing in this one. They've erased a 2-0 deficit on 1 swing of the bat from Freddie Freeman.
Two batters to get 1 out, and I'm sure that was part of the message from Mark Pryor. Every one of the pitches here in this first at bat should be like the count is 0-2 or 0-1. You're not going to give in right here.
Vesia to Ibanez. To the knees, strike one. This is one of the reasons Vesia is such a weapon out of that bullpen. Doesn't matter what handedness he faces. They counter by the book with a righty, but righties only hit 150 against him. His 0-1. There's that fastball, but it misses up. 28 years old, his 5th season with the Dodgers, coming over from the Marlins. Fully established at this point. Fires 1-1. 2-1 on Ibanez.
You don't want to break any trends right here if you're Alex Vesia. The Tigers are 0 for 18 in this series with a runner in scoring position.
Torkelson there with his 2-out double. Vesia home with the 2-1. Ibanez fouls it back. Two and two. Ibanez takes high. McKinstry on deck.
Heater's his best pitch, but he may pull the trigger on the breaking ball here with first base open.
Here he comes. He did, and it's fouled off.
Sometimes with the breaking ball, when you try for your ultimate best, it slips out a little bit and hangs, and I think that's what that one did right there.
7 pitch coming here to Ibanez. Go ahead run in scoring position in the 8th. Another 3-2. Missed with the fastball. So back-to-back 2-out base runners here. The double from Torkelson and now the walk for Ibanez. And Zach McKinstry is going to have a chance to hurt his old team. Some big hits against the Dodgers last summer in Detroit. Triple in yesterday's game. 0 for 3 so far today. Trying to break through. Tigers looking for their first hit of this young season with a runner in scoring position. Torkelson in second. Ibanez at first. Vesia to the plate. McKinstry fouls off a fastball.
No action in the Dodger pen. They're sticking with Alex the whole way.
$18 pitches yesterday. 18 pitch today coming here. 0-2. So after the walk, quickly gets ahead of McKinstry.
The breaking ball hasn't gotten hurt, but it really hasn't been in great locations, and it has not been sharp. If he goes to it right here, just make sure he gets it down.
Fastball, fastest one that he's thrown.
The spray pattern is a little bit off compared to the target. Austin Barnes wanted that one high and away. It ended up kind of thigh-high middle in.
You're fresh this time of year, but still building up this time of year too. 2 on, 2 out, and an 0-2 pitch. Check swing. Did he go? No swing. McKinstry stays alive.
Excellent pitch. Excellent adjustment. You got room to bounce the breaking ball, and that's what he does. Just didn't get him to go far enough.
Tie game in the 8th. 1-2 pitch. Taken for ball 2. Still no action down in that bullpen. Catcher Dingler's on deck. Right-handed hitter. Deuce is wild, and a 2-2 scoreboard. Vesia throws. Count has gone full. From 0-2 to 3-2. Crowd a bit restless. They know the merry-go-round's going to be moving here. He walked him, and the bases are loaded. 3 straight 2-out base runners for the Tigers. So now it's Dingler, 167 hitter as a rookie last year. First at bat of this season takes Yamamoto deep.
Hit a split finger, which is a rare thing from Yamamoto, give up a home run.
First one from Vesia, a fastball, splits the plate. So what do you think?
I think that having a right-handed hitter up there is going to help him with the visually of not walking him. Get his release point back in there.
Back-to-back heaters, 0-2, but it was 0-2 on McKinstry. Can he finish him this time?
But I like the fact that both of those heaters, they wanted away, and that's where he was missing with the left-handed hitter. Well, this is really a great place, and I would stay with the heater. Arm side high to get him to swing and miss.
Strike away from an escape and a roar. Stuck with a fastball. There's the roar. 2-2 game to the bottom of the 8th. We're tied at 2 to the bottom of the 8th. That man there is due up second in this inning. Hope your weekend is off to a great start. Hope your weekend, wherever you are, has been as good as the weekend has been, or this, I guess, weekend has been here.
Yeah. Between the raising of the flag and the ring ceremony today and all the pageantry, the flyover yesterday, it's been fantastic.
And a chance here to cap it off with what could be a late win. Dodgers trailed this game 2-0. Freddie Freeman has tied it with a home run. You've got 9-1-2 coming up here. Barnes, Ohtani, and Betts against Will Vest. It's a strike on Barnes, who was up there with the bases loaded his last time and flied out to end the 5th. Vest, another one of those good arms out of the Tigers bullpen that they rely on so heavily. Framed in there for a strike, 0-2.
I'm sure Austin's trying to look for a little bit of a redeemer here, get a base hit here. He had a 2-0 count in that bases loaded 2-out situation with Ohtani on deck and swung at a low fastball away and flew out to right. I think he'd like to have that swing back.
Good thing he didn't do it in Tokyo. They would have been booing him ruthlessly.
Yeah.
Like they're doing to Craig Counsell with the intentional walk. Ah, we want to watch 17 hit. Vesta Barnes with the 1-2 pitch. Punches it foul. Boston coming off his best season in a long time. Hit .264 last year, even though he broke his toe and then came back 2 weeks later, broke it again. Woo!
Little catcher's grace there.
I guess. Ball 2. I'm Austin Barnes.
Yeah.
And this fastball gets by him. Vest strikes out Barnes. 1 gone in the 8th. Tied at 2. And here comes Shohei Ohtani. One and 0.
Shohei might have to come out of the strike zone a little bit to be swinging here. I would semi-intentionally walk him. Okay. Might have an opportunity now because of this pitch.
Vest coming at him with the 1-1, and it's way outside, ball 2. Seems to have a 6th sense, Ohtani. Sense for the moment. Ahead 3-1. No jumpiness at all. You'd understand if you'd have that here, knowing that one swing could win this game. Tied at 2 in the bottom of the 8th. On a 3-1 from Vest. Ohtani. Ooh, takes a strike.
I think Shohei's been looking for something middle in because he has taken 2 fastballs that are away that he normally likes to extend his arms, but just not in the area where he was ready to let it go.
So if you're Will Vest, are you going back there thinking that he's continuing to think inside?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this is another change-up, slight breaking ball.
Yep, target out there. That's where he goes, and Ohtani protects. Approach changes, if ever so slightly, with 2 strikes to stay alive. Another 3-2. And he got him with a fastball. Went right back to that outside lane to get Ohtani.
Shohei doesn't get it done here, but he was a big part of why the Dodgers scored more runs than anybody from the 8th inning on last year. They scored 201 from the 8th inning on. We're #1 in baseball.
And he was the #1 hitter in baseball from the 8th inning on. Here's Betts hitting a fly ball to left center field. Green to the track, to the wall. Gone! Got just enough! And here in the 8th, the Dodgers have just enough. Well, Mookie told us earlier today, I'm getting
the ruling on the field is a home run.
Back.
This is a crew chief review.
His bat speed was up a few miles per hour. And remember, every mile per hour of bat speed equates to 7 feet of distance on fly balls. He was 68 miles per hour a few days ago, measured at 71 today. And that added bat speed got him just enough to break this tie. Yeah, they're taking a look at it. I'm not sure I see anything on there that's...
I really don't. I mean, last year we say little man with big power. This year you say little man with just enough power until he gets that weight back. I think that clears the fence. It's a deflection off a fan's glove, but I think this is going to be long enough. Oh, that's a little different look there.
That's looks like a smile with a bit of relief in it. I can still do it. I can still get it out of here. Everything he's gone through these last couple weeks. Oh, the strength sapped from his body.
The last thing he wants to do is put his helmet back on and go out to second base.
Oh, jeez. I think he can put it away. He's put the Dodgers in front for the first time in this game.
After review, the call in the field stands. Home run.
And the echoes of last season have sounded here early on in 2025, honoring last season with the banner raising, the ring ceremony. Yesterday, Ohtani and Edman and Teoscar Hernandez, all constant presences late last year. Today, Freddie Freeman and Mookie Betts.
This series, they have scored all their home runs. Or all their runs with home runs.
Yep, 8 runs on 5 home runs. What's old is new. The old guard getting it done for the Dodgers. And now 3 outs away from a 4-0 start. Freeman bangs one on the ground to second for Zach McKinstry. On to the 9th we go. Mookie Betts got his 3rd championship ring earlier. Got his first home run. Now fasten those seatbelts to the 9th. World champion Dodger baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Jack in the Box. The Smash Jack is back with so much more beef. Freeman and Betts going deep for the Dodgers. All top 4 in the Dodger lineup. Ohtani, Betts, Freeman, Teoscar Hernandez have hit home runs over the first 2 games of this home schedule. And now it's up to Tanner Scott to try and lock things down. The Tigers have 8-9-1 coming up. Scott to face Trey Sweeney to start this 9th. And he rips one to right field, a base hit on the first pitch that Scott throws. So Trey Sweeney's first hit of the year as the tying run aboard just like that in the 9th.
Center fielder number 32, Ryan Kreidler.
We'll check in with the studio for Access Sportsnet Dodgers presented by Audi. When this game finishes.
Center field studio.
That's right. So the tying run is aboard, and the 9-hitter Ryan Kreidler's at the plate. The days of this being automatic small ball, move the guy up into scoring position, are no more. On deck, top of the order, and Javi Baez. To third and knocked down by Muncy. Recovers to go to second, and what a pick by Tommy Edman to get the out. Wow.
It was outstanding, and it was at second base where all the work was done. Max does a nice job knocking it down. This ball can skid on you at Dodger Stadium as the grass gets damp. Then the throw, the ball's probably got a little wetness to it, but boy, that is a good pick. Tommy, who can play all over the field. They were glad he was at second base right there.
3-2 game, 9th inning. Ground ball could end it now. Javier Baez. Strike one. Baez signed a big contract. One of the first big contracts the Tigers gave out with this current era. And he seems to be in some pain here. But 3 years into the deal, he's got the lowest OPS in baseball. They're hoping that he's healthy now. He had hip surgery like you, Oral. And they're hoping that it's a different guy this year. Having a fight for playing time at this point.
So he's hitting with a titanium hip?
I don't know if he did the same thing, same exact operation.
I don't think he needed it replaced.
I don't think so either. Yeah. Also had his hip cut open.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just a little cleanup.
Kreidler over there at first, by the way, has pretty good speed. Representing the tying run. Baez grounds this one up the middle. It's got eyes. Edman gets there, gets to throw off. Back-to-back dazzling plays from Tommy Edman for the first 2 outs of the ninth. How much do you love Tommy Edman?
This is sweet. This is from the shortstop side of second base with a backhand, weight going away from first base, strong enough throw, and then accurate enough throw. A ground ball that back in the traditional days would be a double play, but with the data showing where the fielder should be, Tommy Edman has just enough range, and so does Freddie have just enough reach.
Tying run into scoring position as Margot comes up and takes strike one. What a player. Dodgers 3, Tigers 2. 2 out of the ninth inning. Scott fires. Margot to left field. It is down. Here comes Conforto's throw. It's cut off, and it's tied at 3. With the Tigers down to their last out, their newest guy, Manuel Margot, comes up with their first hit this year with a runner in scoring position, and it's 3-3.
Picked on a couple of first pitch fastballs, and this is the one that ties it up. Inner half almost jams him, but he gets enough barrel on it to force it out there to left field. And with 2 outs running on the crack of the bat as the tying run, pretty hard to get him at home.
Margot 3 hits in 2 days as a Tiger. Signed with Detroit on Monday. Tied up, Riley Green. And Margot, technically an old friend. He was a Dodger for a short time last year. Came over in the Tyler Glasnow deal, started spring training with the Dodgers, and then was sent to Minnesota. They're having a heck of a first weekend with Detroit. Green, who's 1 for 4, pulls one down the line. This is trouble. Margot's got wheels. Into the corner it goes. Teoscar digs it out. Here comes Margot. Here comes the relay from Edman. He's got a hat trick. No, he missed the tag. It looked like Tommy Edman was on the verge of making 3 tremendous plays in the inning, but Barnes couldn't get the tag on Margot, and Detroit has retaken the lead.
All down there in the corner. Teoscar gets it in. Tommy Edman's on 1 hop, and Austin Barnes gets pulled away. The tag might be on the foot as the hand is getting to the plate, and that makes the play a lot closer, that little trip. Let's see the glove of Austin Barnes. Does it move at all? Boy, it looks like the hand might get there first. Edman with the good throw. Oh! Yeah, he gets the tag there, but it was the hand on the plate. Call on the field is safe.
I think the hand might be on the plate.
Yep.
It's kind of like a brain exercise, trying to sync up the looks. And
well, that oven mitt gives you an extra inch or two as it's protecting your finger.
Yeah.
That might be the difference.
After review, the call on the field is overturned. The runner is out.
Wow! Tommy Edman, Tommy Tanks saves the day. 3 outs, all thanks in part to that man right there. The Tigers have tied it, but have they just set the stage for a walk-off? Tied at 3. What a game this has been. To the bottom of the 9th we go. One more look. Teoscar Hernandez. There's not too many things in sports more aesthetically pleasing than a relay to the plate like this.
And then once you sync up the two angles, you do realize that that glove of Austin Barnes hits the foot before the oven mitt hits the plate.
So you got assists from Teoscar and Edman there. I think our truck gets an assist too for getting those looks synced up. All right, so to the bottom of the 9th inning. Guess who's due up first and who's due up third? You got Teoscar Hernandez, then Max Muncy, then Tommy Edman. 2 of the 3 guys combining to keep it tight at 3. Tommy Kahnle, the old Dodger, on the pitch. And a changeup, as it usually is, in there for a strike. Last season with the Yankees, so the Dodgers saw him in Dodger blue, but then they saw him again in the World Series last year. Almost nothing but changeups. Ball and a strike on Teoscar. One career walk-off home run for Teoscar Hernandez 6 years ago. Change. You went around 1 and 2.
All in the mid-80s, and the arm speed doesn't match the ball speed. And then he's also got some movement on that pitch.
Threw 48 changeups in a row in the postseason last year. Every now and then he'll sprinkle in a fastball, and it's stuck in your head. Another changeup.
That one with the most depth, but the highest velocity. That one at 87.
One, two again. Left that one up a little bit.
That one was juicy.
Little pitch com maintenance. Can you explain the problem you're having with the pitch com? Yeah, well, I can't hear it. Well, it's 50,000 people screaming.
Exactly. We see this more in Dodger Stadium with the crowds and the noise and the energy here than we do any other ballpark.
Man, it was rocking for the ring ceremony today. Just pure joy and appreciation from these fans, every player that was introduced. Some of them a little louder than others, though, and this guy right here would be near the top of the list. Trying to send him into a frenzy again. Oh, a fastball speeds by him.
5 changeups in a row, and now the heater. 84 to 87 with the changeup, to the mid-90s with the heater, and gets Teo.
One out in the 9th, and now Muncy. First pitch change. No balls, 1 strike. 190 home runs for Max Muncy in his Dodger career. It's top 5 in the National League since his debut. Top 10 in Dodger history. Now an 0-1 from Canely. Pokes it down the line to left and foul. The 0-2. Got him to chase. And curse. 2 out.
Dodgers saw Canely 4 times last year, and they got to him an awful lot. 7 runs, 5 of them unearned in 2 innings pitched, but right now Canely's got their number.
Tommy Edman, the love for this guy growing. Tommy Edman's going to bat right-handed against a right-handed pitcher here. Harder for a righty to throw a changeup to a righty, so sometimes Tommy Edman will do this specific to the pitcher. Give up the platoon advantage to try and minimize the guy's best pitch. The 0-1. Ripped to left field. Riley Green is there, and that's a 1-2-3 9th inning for Tommy Canely to send this game to the 10th.
what an impact he made. Not with the bat. Yeah, he can hit it, but this with the glove. At second base, the pick. Max Muncy loves it. He picked him up here. Mookie, he picks up here with this one. Freddie with the stretch. And then on the relay that ends the inning and keeps this game at a tie. What a throw. What a tag. What a great play and a great job by our crew to sync up those two pictures and get that out recorded.
So to the 10th inning we go. Dodgers playing extra baseball for the first time this year. And oh yeah, it's like a reminder. We've lived our whole lives without somebody being at second base to start extras, but it's still a little bit odd to see that. Free runners Riley Green, the hitter Spencer Torkelson, the pitchers Luis Garcia, who makes his second appearance for the Dodgers, gave up a run in one inning of work in Tokyo. 38-year-old from the Dominican Republic in his 13th major league season. "38 years old now. He made a career high 90s fastball at its peak. He was triple digits a couple years ago with the Padres. So 38 and still playing. He retired at 23. 5 years in the minors, hadn't made it above A ball, so he retired and started working for a moving company and training to be a barber. Baseball, had my chance, it didn't work. About a year later, though, a friend shows up at his door one morning and says, "I had a dream last night. You were pitching in the big leagues." And Luis is like, "What are you talking about? That stage of life is done." Friend said, "No, believe me, you got to give another shot." So Luis eventually relents, lands a spot in an indie ball where he got rocked, but he kept working at it, kept adding velocity. There's a grounder to short. It's going to keep the runner put. Betts over to first for the first out of the 10th. Soon he had a minor league offer from the Phillies. Signs with them. By the end of that season, less than a year after he was moving boxes and training to cut hair, he was in the majors, and he's been there now for more than a decade. Three in the 10th. Ibanez. Little high. Ibanez off of the bench. He walked. Looking for his first hit of the year. Takes a strike, 1-1. And it's still 97 for Garcia, 38 years old.
That's some really good arm speed at an age when you should be losing it.
Baltimore chop, Garcia. Low throw and a pick by Freeman. Not an easy play, right, when you're standing on the front slope of that mound?
No, he's laughing about it right now, but it is really hard to have a good baseball clock when you are waiting for that ball to come down. There's a man on second. The game's tied. You've been watching the game out there in the bullpen for 9 innings, and now you're in there, and he's like, quick. He did a nice job catching it about shoulder high and having a very quick exchange, not bringing the ball all the way down to his waist. Freddie picked him up.
Well, one run feels almost like a foregone conclusion in extra innings, so trying to do something is really tough to do here. Yeah, but the Dodgers swing away from game ending with a base hit. Green's at third, 1 ball, no strikes on McKinstry. Zach has struck out a couple times today. He's also walked. For the Dodgers in the 10th, their free runner will be Tommy Edman. Bottom of the order due up with Conforto, Pages, and Barnes. They're going to put McKinstry on here and go righty-righty with Dylan Dingler.
Zach McKinstry's being intentionally walked, bringing up the catcher, number 13, Dylan Dingler.
Well, righty. Garcia, he's a 5-pitch guy, but he will throw a lot of sweepers. That's what he threw mostly when he was in Tokyo with the club. Between the sinker, splitter, slider, and fastball, the sweeper sometimes becomes his out pitch to right-handers.
Tigers with solo shots in the second and the third. Dodgers tied it with a home run from Freddie Freeman in the sixth. Took the lead on a Betts home run in the eighth. Tigers tied it down to their last out in the ninth. 3-3 here in the 10th. First and third, 2 out. First one to Dingler. In on him, flied to left. Conforto coming on, can't get there. 2 runs are going to score. Dingler's at third. He's knocked in 3 of the Tigers' 5.
That's Dodger defense that's trying to play for the win. You can play it short and take the 1 hop and what would feel like a tie because of the man on second that you get in extra innings. But Michael trying to make sure he posts a 0, and he is inches from catching this ball.
So the Tigers back in front. Ball on Trey Sweeney. A ball, 1 strike. Tigers getting these 3 runs late with 2 outs. 2 outs in the 9th, and now 2 outs in the 10th. Dillon Dingler. Bouncing ball to Freddie Freeman. Charges, takes it himself. To the bottom of the 10th we go with the free runner out there immediately. Tying run coming up. Michael Conforto set to lead off this 10th for the Dodgers, trailing the Tigers 5-3, trying to come back for the second time tonight. Bo Brisky on for the save.
He got it together at the end of the year and really helped these Tigers with their playoff push. Fantastic with the changeup and the fastball at the end of the year. Just the top end speed and the bottom end speed. League after July, especially with the changeup, only hit 129. He's toggled between being a starter and a reliever, but has found a home now in the Tiger bullpen.
There goes Edman, made the last out of the 9th inning, so he's the runner at second. Long time ago, Jack Flaherty took a no-hitter into the 5th inning. Freddie Freeman broke that up with a 2-run home run. Looked like Betts had him on the verge of a nice comeback late win, but the Tigers trying to steal it right back away. Strike 1 on Conforto. Conforto in his first game at Dodger Stadium with LA is 0 for 3. Oh, and 2.
So much attention in a one-run game or a tie game with that runner on second, but now with the 2-run lead with the Tigers, they can just concentrate on the hitter at the plate.
Brisky to Conforto, drifts away. After Conforto, Pages, then Barnes. Series wraps up tomorrow. 6:10 first pitch. Reese Olson for the Tigers, and Roki Sasaki makes his Dodger Stadium debut. On a 1-2, Conforto fouls it off, stays alive.
Were you surprised when you saw the Dodgers schedule this year that a Sunday was off? I think it's the first time in my baseball life that I've had a Sunday off.
A little goodwill after the trip to Japan. A chance for them to catch up. Actually have another Sunday off, I think later this summer at some point.
After I saw one, I quit looking.
Beggars can't be choosers, right? It's like, take what you can get.
You know, you never have July 4th off, Memorial Day weekend. And every Sunday it's like day game of Sunday Night Baseball.
Back at it on Monday when the Braves come in for 3. Still dueling in this one. Down 5-3 in the bottom of the 10th. Another 1-2 from Beau Brisky. Conforto leading off. And lofting one down the line. It is sinking and fair. Riley Green gave up on it. It's a ground rule double, and it's 5-4. And there's the Freddie. He knows how to do it. He watched it from the other side the last couple years. He's got his first Dodger Stadium hit in Dodger blue.
Left field and left fielders having some issues out there. Conforto earlier tried to make a game-saving catch, and that ended up being 2 runs, and now he's in a celebration mode.
Did he give up? He gives the in-between? That was odd.
Yeah.
So now the tying run is in scoring position, nobody out. Pages fouls it off. And in the on-deck circle, the birthday boy celebrating his 30th, Will Smith. And then Ohtani. Pages grounds one left side, not going to do the trick. Sweeney throws him out, 1 away. Big first out right there, keeping Conforto put. And now Smith. Will has a hit in all 3 games so far. He's reached base 8 of his 12 times up.
He's picking the ball up very well at the plate. Had great plate discipline, and then he's gotten strikes. He's barreled it up. That Pages out just to the wrong side of the field with no outs to move up Conforto. This at bat would be a lot easier for Will Smith if he got him over.
Who, by the way, leads the majors in sacrifice flies the last 3 years. So this would be a perfect guy to have up there had you been able to get Conforto up to third. Sacrifice fly or not, Will Smith has always been a good clutch hitter. .292 in his career with runners in scoring position. Tie it with a base hit, could win it with a long ball. 5-4, bottom of the 10th. Ohtani looming on deck. Fouls off the first pitch.
See that with a lot of pinch hitters. Guys come off the bench and they want to get into the game emotionally and physically, hacking at that first pitch.
On his birthday, The Dodger catcher, Will Smith, takes strike 2. Bouncing ball, base hit left field. Here comes Conforto. It's tied at 5. Will Smith with a pinch hit base hit to even the issue in the 10th.
They started him out with the high fastball, and Will got loose on that one. Then they went with low cheese at the knees and got the called strike. He's in a hole 0-2. The Dodgers are down a run. But he didn't panic, Joe.
Ohtani takes a ball. Ground ball, base hit, right field. Third hit of this 10th inning. Winning run is 90 feet away as Ohtani sends Smith to third.
The base hit, he finds a hole. Dodgers looking for their 3rd comeback win of the year in only 4 games.
Trying to do it twice in this game. Trailed 2-0, came back to lead 3-2. Trailed 5-3. They've come back to tied at 5. And the guy that gave them the lead with the home run back in the 8th could win it right here. Mookie Betts. Swing and a miss as Ohtani takes second. Here's Betts' home run.
Fastball that had to feel so good when it cleared the fence.
First base now open, 1 away. 0-1 pitch. Taken inside. I think A.J. Hinch has seen the replay of Freddie Freeman's grand slam one too many times this season or this weekend to even think about it. Mookie Betts couldn't lay off. 1-2.
He just got caught in between. You could see he was thinking about taking, then just let the bat go through.
Infield stays in. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Betts. Here it comes. Taken away, and the count evens up.
Good discipline after that swing that he had on the ball in the dirt right there.
Two. Betts. Look out. Full count.
Dodgers have shown they are good 2-strike hitters in this inning. 2 of the 3 hits with 2 strikes.
On a payoff. Betts grounds it foul. Do it again. Double from Conforto, single from Will Smith, single from Ohtani. And the 7th pitch coming from Beau Brieske to Mookie Betts. Hit away from a 4-0 start. Betts skies it foul. That's going to reach the seats. Rookie who's got 3 walk-off RBIs in his Dodger career. It's been 5 years since they traded for him from Boston. The 8th pitch. Betts golfs one left field and turns out the lights. He rings the bell with a 3-run walk-off home run. Gold. Gold. That blue heaven on earth. This team, this place, insane. We are watching something special. Night in, night